Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to episode 171 of NerdPod Generations. As always, I am one of your illustrious hosts, Steve Taylor, along with the always lovely Al Judson. Hello, sir.
Hello, friends and enemies.
Man, what a week.
We're doing it, man. It's football season, and
feels good.
It feels good. The passage of time concerns me, but the events in the moment are good.
Passage of time.
Yeah,
is a good way to put it.
It hurts my soul.
Dude.
Every day I wake up and I'm like, oh, we're that much closer to blank day, and then I realize that it's September, and I'm like, oh,
yeah,
that part I don't care for.
Yeah, my son just went into 5th grade.
Yeah,
he's going to junior high next year.
Jesus Christ,
which is crazy.
That's fucking nuts.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
So passage of time sucks. Time absolutely blows,
especially when you're trying to work on a project and you're stuck. And you're just like, how do I, in my case, fit the Magnificent Seven into this? That's what I want to do next. And I've been working on it, quote unquote, on it for months now. Mm-hmm. And I'm just like, man, I really wanted to have more of the book done by the end of the year. And that's just not gonna happen.
Well, as a good example of passage of time, I don't know if you noticed what I was wearing.
Yes.
My Monroe Community College hat that I got when we were in college 16 years ago is when I got this hat.
Yep.
16 years.
Yeah, no, I think I've said it on the show before, but the thing that really truly bothers me right now is that McKenna Grace is seen as an adult, and she was born after I graduated high school.
Yeah.
I don't care for it.
Yeah.
I don't care for it. She was the child actor for years, and now she's being shown off as an adult, and I'm like, I don't like this.
Well, why can't I think of her name? Hit Girl from...
Oh, Chloe Grace Moretz.
Just got married.
Yeah.
So it's like, Hit Girl just got married.
Yeah, and she's in her like early 30s.
Yes.
Yeah.
I fucking hate this one.
Fucking shit.
So that's our depressing intro to NerdPod Generations, folks. If this is your first time listening to us, please go back and listen to the 170 previous episodes of Pure Gold. You can find us at nerdpodgen.com. On our website, there are links on the homepage to the most recent episode of the podcast. There's also links to Spotify and Apple Podcasts where you can find all of our shows. There's also a link to YouTube, which you can go to youtube.com. Al has been uploading all past episodes, current episodes, so there's a lot of inventory. I'd like to say
it's very useful for the last couple episodes, which have all been 2+ hours, to just be able to be like, oh, here's the NFL segment.
Yes.
Here's this segment. You don't have to go hunting for Murderbot. It's right here.
Which is nice.
Yeah.
That you're doing a great job.
I appreciate it.
You do the legwork, and I do appreciate you.
You're the talent. You're the face of the franchise.
I am the Bill Murray. I'm just the full of shit one that comes in. I'm on time, though.
Yes.
And you know when I'm coming.
Yes.
So, and I mean that by showing the folks, not the dirty.
I was going to say.
So let's move on to Watch, Play, Read, which is like we start every episode. So, Al, you are running with it today.
Yes, I'm going to receive the kickoff.
Bridge between ours.
Yes, I'm receiving the kickoff.
Yes.
I wanted to return to a subject that I had brought up a few weeks ago, vis-a-vis David Habour. Today's episode is, as long as we get to it, Thunderbolts.
Yes.
And so, as a salve to try and cover up the, I have to watch Thunderbolts, I watched Frankenstein's Monster Frankenstein, which I talked about a few weeks ago. This is one of the weirdest movies I've seen in recent history. I don't know what to do with it.
Is it streaming or do you own it?
It's on Netflix.
It's on Netflix. Okay.
It was made shortly after season 2 of Stranger Things.
Okay.
And God, it is just like, so the movie starts, there's no opening credits or anything, but it starts with David Habour talking about his father, David Habour Jr. And so he walks up and there's a picture of David Habour Jr. and it's David Habour dressed as Orson Welles. And then he walks forward and he says, my grandfather was also an actor, and it's David Habour the first, but it's just David Habour dressed in older clothes. And then he says, hi, I'm David Habour the third. And he walks forward and it's a picture of him like in the same outfit. So it's like, that's the tone of what we're going for. So essentially the plot of this movie, it's a mockumentary based around this idea that David Habour is trying to learn more about his father, David Habour. And David Habour Jr. Who's not David Harbour's son, but David Harbour's dad. It's very this is the kind of humor that we're going for.
Yeah.
Had this cockamamie idea of airing plays on television, but having them done live. So it's a live play on television. And you're just like, okay. So David Habour, our David Habour, is trying to learn more and more about this. And meanwhile, he's also playing his dad, who is essentially just Orson Welles. And so you have this whole back and forth where he has this young actor that he's working with, who's this stud, and he hates him. He's doing interviews on MTV talking about this new young thing and how he doesn't know what acting really means. And he'll stop in the middle of
sounds batshit crazy.
He stops in the middle of the play to monologue about what acting actually means to upstage this kid during the production. And it's fucking crazy. The basis of the production is that Frankenstein did not create a monster, but he wants everybody to think that he did. And so he is playing the monster, and he's hired this kid, this assistant, to be Frankenstein. And so now this kid has to pretend to be Frankenstein while Frankenstein himself is watching as the monster, unable to say anything, watching this kid screw up all of his everything. Meanwhile, we're cutting back and forth with David Habour talking to his father's friends and discussing his history and all these weird things. He's recreated his father's entire office. If you didn't know what the term Chekhov's gun was before watching this, you absolutely will after watching it, because it's a main focus of the story. Chekhov's gun as a concept is almost a MacGuffin in this movie, to the point where a character walks onto the stage and just sees a gun on a table. And it's just very blatantly produced. At one point, they talk about how the production was outliving its budget. And so they had to bring on sponsors. And one of the sponsors is Chekhov's guns. You know it's going to go off.
Oh, my God.
And so it's just really weird. And then it just ends. And you're just kind of being like, what? What was that?
How long is this?
It's like 50 minutes long. It is not long. But it is weird with 3 beards. And you're just kind of left being like, did David Habour write this? Because he's not listed as the director or the writer. But is this like... Because this is the kind of batshit thing where you're like, maybe those are ghost writers. Maybe that's a ghost director and David Habour did this whole thing. It seems weirdly personal for someone else to have written it for him. Yeah. But like, I don't know. It is weird. I go back and forth on saying whether it's worth watching. I think it's worth watching if you like really, really weird shit. If you're looking for something that makes no fucking sense from top to bottom, this might be your thing, because, man, there are just moments where you're like, what the fuck is actually happening with this? This is insane. At one point, because he's playing Orson Welles, he's captured the attraction of the leading lady. Okay. And this bleeds into the production of the show. I should say David Habour Jr., David Harbour's dad, captures the attention of this leading lady. And they have a sex scene on screen in the laboratory until I think he gets a letter or something. Something interrupts them before anything can happen. But this same actress, so the David Habour investigation portion of the show is supposed to take place years and years and years after this. That actress just shows up looking exactly the same in David Habour, the investigator's office that he's recreated that was his dad's office. And everybody is just like, oh, you look great. And there's no other explanation for it. She is immediately kicked out. David Habour is like, why are you here? And she's like, well, I loved your dad. And he's like, I don't want to hear about this. Get out of here. Because anytime he finds out bad news about his dad was his idol. And so every time he finds out like, oh, your dad was kind of a shitty person, he's like, I don't want to hear about this. We're going to move on to something else. So it's just like it's so weird. It's capital F weird. Okay, that's how weird it is.
That is crazy.
It's spelled with an F, and it's entertaining, but it's definitely like you're watching and you're like, where the fuck is this going? What is this? What am I supposed to do with it? Why did you give me all these pieces? I don't understand where they all fit together. So there was that. That was a whole thing. I wanted to talk about. We got Mario Kart World Tour.
Yes.
Because we bought a Switch off a certain buddy. That is a really fun game.
Isn't it fun?
I like that game
Knockout
a lot.
Tour is crazy.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And the rubber banding on Knockout Tour is intense.
It's unbelievable.
It's incredible. And so I will say, as with everything, I always have my critiques. I always have my, well, I wish you blah, blah. Yeah. So obviously my first thing, I have to say it, you ruined my boy's face and I still am angry about it. Donkey Kong. But more so, there's this mechanic that I really like of unlocking costumes. I really, really like. I like that it almost is Dark Souls in a way of like, you don't know what the fuck is happening.
Yeah.
And so you get Kamek and you're like, it just comes through and it turns you into something else. And now you're a Monty Mole. And you're like, okay.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
And then nothing happens. And you're like, okay, but that's how you unlock that character. Yeah. The way you get costumes is to get food items at these little Yoshi food stalls, which I love.
Yeah.
That's just so funny. The idea of Yoshi having a burger place is just endlessly funny to me. But I love that you get these costumes there. I love how many costumes there are for certain characters.
Yeah.
Why does Donkey Kong only have one costume,
I don't understand
Nintendo?
that either. And I unlocked that. My first costume unlocked was that.
Yeah, and that was it.
Yeah.
And then you were like, what? That's it? And then you look and like fucking Toadette and Baby Mario and fucking, who's another one that I was like, really? Lakitu has 3. Lakitu has 3. Donkey Kong has 1. And Lakitu has 3. Koopa Troopa has 5. What is this prioritization?
Especially the part that I didn't understand about that is Donkey Kong Bonanza came out shortly after that.
Yes!
And in Bonanza, you have
a bunch of costumes
you turn into, and you can also change your fur color. You couldn't tell me they couldn't have put that into Mario Kart?
It makes no sense to me.
I don't get that either.
It blew my mind when that happened. Like, when Pauline only has her dress and her bike suit, I'm like, that sucks, but like I kind of get it at the same time. And no baby form? Okay, that's lame. You literally just came out with a baby Pauline. Why is there no baby form in this? But then the Donkey Kong thing happened. I was like, what the hell, guys? Like, that's 2 strikes on you. You immediately out of the box.
Yeah.
You can't do that. You gotta have more costumes.
And I'll be honest, my big problem with Mario Kart World is I kind of knew this was going to happen, and I think this is what's going to happen with Smash Brothers when the new one comes out. 8 was so perfect. 8 Deluxe was so perfect in every way with the amount of characters you can be, with the amount of customization, the amount of tracks. To me, I don't think they could make another one.
Yeah.
And as much as I like this, I wish they would have just taken Knockout Tour, put it into 8 Deluxe, and just been like, here's a $10 upgrade. We'll upgrade like the speed and everything a little bit.
Yeah.
Because it was so perfect.
Well, and like that's the other thing, is that I really like this as a base game.
Yeah.
But it does feel like it's missing a lot of elements. And it really feels like a game where I hope that we hear about how they're going to upgrade it.
They have to.
And there's going to be more to come. Because whether it's the fact that we've already played through almost the entire game, and we've had it for a week and a half.
Yeah.
So you're like, it's Mario Kart, so it's kind of evergreen, but at the same time, there was something about Mario Kart 8 where you never really felt like it got stale.
Yeah.
And there are elements of this that do feel like they're getting just a little stale.
And a lot of it was the amount of characters.
That's the thing.
Half? Maybe less than half of the amount of characters?
Well, and the big gripe that I have is that the characters that they chose are insanely stupid.
Yeah.
I want to come up with a better way to say it.
Cow.
Why did you... Listen, I get the bit. But, like, you can't have all of it. You can have some of it. But, like, the fucking conkled bird thing that bangs its beak down, or the fucking crab, or, you know, like, there's so many pointless characters that don't even have names.
Yeah.
And why is there a dry bones fish? Was there anybody begging for this? There's no Koopa Kids, but there's, like, dry bone fish and snowman. And who was asking for this?
Yeah.
You got rid of Diddy Kong and Funky. Those were huge ones for me.
Massive.
There's no Link. There's no villagers. There's no...
And that's the thing. No Link, no villagers, no Squid Kids.
Yeah.
The only way they could have upgraded from that is if they started putting characters for, like, I want Samus. I want characters from other... It's like, you already opened it up last game. It's not just Mario characters.
The box is open now.
Now you need to upgrade it more. Put Xenoblade characters.
Yes.
Put Fire Emblem characters. All that into there.
Yes. This should be Smash Brothers, but with carts.
Yes.
That's what this should be,
Yep.
and you took a significant step down instead.
Yep.
And it's just like, it'd be like if the next Smash Brothers was all Mario-orientated and had no non-Mario characters, but they still needed to have 40-ish fighters, and so they just were like, it's Bush! And it's like, that's nothing.
Yeah.
That's absolutely nothing. And so it's like, can we get some of the good characters back that you had? Because a lot of those characters that you got rid of were my favorite characters. Mm-hmm. And then you gave Donkey Kong nothing, and you gave him a stupid new face. And so I'm essentially left, either driving as Yoshi, which I like the way that they did the Yoshi colors, but I would be lying if I didn't feel like it would be cool if you could switch the individual colors throughout the costume, so you weren't tied down. If you wanted to be pink Yoshi, you had to have this costume. If you want to be blue Yoshi, you have to have this costume. I would like to be able to tie those up a little bit, change them up, make them a little different. There's no cart customization. This is just your cart.
That blows my mind.
Why? Why is this just
been the
my
big
cart?
Thing since the 3DS one, I think,
Yeah.
where they had the cart customization.
Yeah.
And then in the last game,
The last fucking movie, Mario, the
Customized
movie.
carts.
There's a customized card
Yep.
option, and then you get rid of it. And so this is always my thing, and this has been my thing for so many things, whether it's Spider-Man games or fucking Mario games or Zelda games. If there is a regressive step, that's a huge issue for me. If we had something and it was good and it worked and it didn't glitch and it didn't have problems, and then you got rid of it, and there's not a good rational reason why, I can't help but give you a deduction on that because you had this. You had it done. You knew what you were doing. What you needed to do was continue to upgrade the product as it was. And this is just nothing. Why can you only do free roam with more than one person in online mode and no more than 2 people on a console? That's fucking dumb. That's fucking dumb. And like, I'm so sick of companies who change and regress a product, not to make it better, but specifically to make it so that people have to buy more of the product.
Yeah.
You know, and so I look at like Fallout 76 versus like Dropout. So Fallout 76, like the product's not good, and then you have to buy stuff in the game to make the product better. Whereas Dropout, they're like, we want people to share our product. We don't care about, you know, how many people you share it with. We want people to have it, and that'll grow subscriptions on its own. And it feels like when I'm watching Dropout, I'm not seeing something where the money, you can see where all the money is going. Nintendo, this feels like an attempt to make us buy more Switch 2s.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to hang out with your kids on free roam and just drive around? Well, you're all going to have to go and get your own Switch 2s, and everybody's going to have to play on their own, and maybe mom and kid can play on one, and dad and kid can play on one, and then kid and kid can play on a third one, but you're going to have to get 3 Switch 2s, as opposed to what I grew up with, which was 8-way playing. What happened to that? When the Wii had 8-player gaming? What happened to that? That was 3 consoles ago. You can't tell me that you can't do free roam with more than 2 people because the game just is incapable of doing that. I don't buy that. I just don't buy that as a concept.
I'm trying to remember. I think this game specifically, you can use your Switch 1 as a second Switch without having to use the cart.
Is that true?
I'm 99% sure. I'm trying to remember. I know there's one game, I think it is this one, that you can actually use the Switch 1 and play this game going off of the cart of Switch 2.
Yeah.
So it's I'm not 1,000% sure. I'm
You're guessing.
kind of spitballing here. But you know about the online controversy too, the self-inflicted online controversy.
No, I don't know about this.
So online players desperately wanted to play, hey, if we do online multiplayer, we want to be able to do the old school way of 3 individual courses and not do this, one that's progressive. And they found a glitch to do it, and Nintendo got rid of the glitch. And it's like, why are you self-inflictingly killing? You're telling people this is how, this is what killed me when I left the restaurant industry. We were telling people, this is how you are going to pay for your food because this is how we want to tell you to do it. Instead of saying, hey, you're going to have the opportunity to do it any way you want. Well, here you have people saying, we want to play your game. We want to buy your system. And we want to just have this way of playing it online, and we will be more than happy. And Nintendo's saying, no, you're going to do it the way
you don't
we
get
want
to do that.
And it's like, that's pissing off the online community.
Yes.
I'm like, dude, why are you doing this? Haven't you watched what happened to Xbox with the Xbox One, Sony with the PS3? It's like, you're fucking it up.
Yeah, and that's what it feels like. Going back to this whole idea that this is the beginning of the new Nintendo Guard, you can see that there's a different set of priorities in terms of what is the product. The product now is about having multiplayer friend groups as long as everybody has their own system. And it's about mechanics that are inconceivably difficult to get through. I tried to transfer over my Pokemon files from my Switch to the Switch 2, and basically it was like, well, even though you have the cartridges, you have to abandon your files on one of the systems. So either you can have it on your current Switch or you can transfer it over to the Switch 2, but you can't have both. And I'm like, why? I own the game. I own both consoles. It's my save data. Why do I have to choose which console it's on? It should be able to be on both, right? Yeah. It's not like when I download it off the cloud, it automatically deletes it from the cloud, except that it kind of does because the game is gate kept so that it can only go in one direction. And that's stupid.
It is dumb.
That's fucking dumb. Why are you doing this?
This is classic Nintendo, though. If you remember during the 3DS Wii U era, if you, for some reason, lost your 3DS, you couldn't just log into a new one and have your data. You had to call Nintendo. They had to go online, and you got to do that, I think, once or twice a year. So for some reason, something like your system crashed and you had to reboot it and reset it. There were tons of issues. Like, they've always been difficult with this.
Yeah.
Like, right now, I can go buy an Xbox, bring it home, plug it in. All of my stuff will download onto it. Same with the PlayStation.
We have a roommate living with us at the moment, and he has Genshin Impact, and he downloaded it onto our PS5 along with his saves. No problem. It was not an issue. Yes. And I don't get this. Yeah. If it's not for money, then why is it Nintendo? Because the only thing it smells of to me is a money grab.
Oh, it's absolutely a money grab.
This is an inconvenience fee.
And the problem is, I still adore Nintendo.
Yes!
And I love the Switch,
It's the NFL all over again.
I love it.
And it's just like, man, football is the most corrupt, terrible industry. They're talking all the time about how they're running out of money, and yet they brought a fucking sewing machine to Sao Paulo because the field conditions for the stadium that they had rented were under their quality level. And so they literally restitched the entire field. Yeah. But the NFL is worried about running out of money, and they're a nonprofit.
Yeah.
So no, this is insane. You have to be crazy to believe that.
Yeah.
So anyway, I do like the game. As with so many of my reviews, this is me saying I do like it.
Yeah.
But I would be remiss to say that it's perfect and that it has no flaws. It desperately needs a few upgrades in terms of the quality of the game is fine, but the elements of the game need to be upgraded.
Yes.
All across the board. And I don't know if that's a thing that they're going to prioritize or not. I hope so.
Like, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe was a full Thanksgiving dinner.
Yeah.
This is a Hungry Man turkey microwave dinner.
Yes, that's a great way of putting it.
And that's what it is. And it's still, like, you'll still eat it. Yeah. It's still enjoyable, but it's nothing like the turkey dinner you had.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's just like, okay, cool. I like the new elements. I wish the old elements were still here, though.
Yeah.
And that nothing is going to change that. There's no, like, oh, you can play as Nabbit. You don't miss Link. No. I do miss Link.
Yeah.
Because this is fucking stupid.
It's so fucking
Why
stupid.
is Conkeldurr in here, but Link isn't?
Yeah.
The none of the Koopa kids? But none of the Koopa kids? But are you sure?
And ever since they put Link in Mario Kart 8, he has been my character.
Right? Exactly.
I've never had anyone else.
Yeah.
So I was so bummed.
It's just like, why are we doing this way? I don't understand. It doesn't make sense with the products you've come out with recently. Yeah. It doesn't make sense with the history of the games or your history writ large. I just don't get it. It's a fine enough game. It should be better. Yeah. And anytime I see something that should be better, I'm going to say it should be better.
And once again, that's why I'm concerned, because in my opinion, there have only been two what I would consider perfect video games. And one I don't even like to play. Mm-hmm. And that is Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Mm-hmm. Because the programming, the way they ran, the amount of options, everything was impeccable. You could not find a fault in either of those fucking games. Yeah. And there's, I don't know how you can improve.
Yeah.
And this proves it with this, because it's like, okay, it's on a new system, but
they decided to go in a different direction. Yeah. Instead of trying to improve it, they were like, okay, well, we're just going to try and rebuild it in a new way that still captures the imagination. And it's like, okay, but
it's not there.
Could you not? Oh.
Yeah.
So the other thing I wanted to talk about is that Mortal Kombat has officially been delayed until 2026.
No.
Yeah. And so I think it's coming out March 2026 now, but it has officially been delayed.
Hopefully it's for good reasons, though.
I hope so. I don't want to hear about reshoots. I want to hear like, oh, we needed to get the graphics right, and it's
That's
not
what
done
I'm
yet.
hoping for, because off of the trailer, I don't think anyone had a complaint with the trailer.
No.
So there shouldn't be reshoots.
No, there's no need for a Sonic redo or anything like that. So, that I saw that and I was like, well, that is a stone cold bummer, because I was looking forward to that. That was coming out in November. It's now been delayed, and man, I just want it to be good, and I want to watch it.
We'll have to still watch and review. We got to discuss Tron Ares, because
I was about to say,
10th.
yeah. Well, my favorite thing. So I've been watching a lot of football. This will be my way to segue into football. Tron Ares has had a lot of commercials during this era.
Was it Saquon Barkley was in the one?
Yeah, which was weird.
The Eagles game, which was weird.
But the thing that gets me is that they have Evan Peters talking about how he's created the perfect warrior pulled from the digital universe or the digital world. And all I can hear in my mind is the Digimon theme song.
Nice.
Digitron, digital Tronsters, Digitrons are the champions. And it's just like, yeah, okay, this is where we're going. All right. So I do want to watch this movie. Yeah. I'm not getting nervous, but the tightrope is getting higher.
Well, here's my concern is they're obviously now are promoting it, which is our biggest complaint of the past Tron movies. So now it's got to be good.
Now it's got to be good.
If you want Tron to continue, now it has to be good.
And they're promoting it for the soundtrack, which I'm excited about.
Awesome. 9 Inch Nails, awesome.
But like, I'm still looking at the Jared Leto shape at the center of this movie and wondering,
what Jared Leto are we going to get?
Is this going to work? Because it's usually when it's him, it doesn't work. And, I don't know. I want this to be really good, because a lot of the people around it are really good. I think Gillian Anderson is in this. Evan Peters. Jeff Bridges shows up probably for like 1 minute of the entire movie. But that's enough. So like Awkwafina is not in it, but there's a cop that looks like Awkwafina. So like I want this to be good. I love the concepts of it. I just, as it gets closer, I get more and more nervous. And we'll see.